the new financial levers, the new deals, the Barca Studio agreement, Bernardo Silva, Frenkie de Jong, Jules Kounde, and much, much more in today's episode of the new hashtag One Take by Barca Buzz. All the timestamps for the particular topics will be given in the description and in the pinned comments, so feel free to find whatever interests you. Welcome everybody. As usual, you have me, Shagnik, as your host, and with me today I have Rishabh, the guy who is making more frequent visits to the Barca's YouTube channel, thankfully. We also have Pulkit with us, the regular member, and we have a newbie with us, Srijan, who has done only one episode for Barca till now, which turned out pretty great, and now he's back again with us. So guys, let's introduce ourselves first. How are we? Rishabh, what's going on? Today's your birthday, man. How did you celebrate?
Yeah, everything is fine. What about you guys?
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, firstly. And secondly, Pulkit, what about you? What's going on in your life?
Good man, good. Wishing Rishabh a very happy birthday. May you one day become the manager of the Indian football team and win the World Cup, defeating Xavi's Spain. Very long term, I'm thinking, no?
Yeah, but
Yeah, and
but he'll get there, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Srijan, how are you feeling, man? What's up?
Yeah, very well, and have been busy with some academic work recently, but I still try to manage some time for the podcast today. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Aren't we all struggling with educational stuff? Except Pulkit, of course. He's a grown man among us children. So, without
We
wasting
don't
any
say-
more time, I think we should directly hop on to the new deals. As everybody knows, yesterday was a big day in the history of Barcelona, yet again. Under the leadership of Joan Laporta, the club has made some pretty big decisions when it comes to the finances. As we all know, Bartomeu had plundered the club's finances in the past few years, and in a term of almost 18 months, Laporta has almost completely turned it around, making Barca a serious club again. We are gonna discuss every little detail as we get into it. And Rishabh, why don't you start? Tell us what happened yesterday and what you think about it.
Basically, the club members 600, like 900 members were present there, and they voted on two different topics. First of them was the sale of 49.9%, a minority stake of Barca licensing and merchandising, which is known as BLM. And the second part was giving up 25% at max of the television rights for a maximum period of 25 years. And Barcelona, they expect to earn around 700 or 800 millions from the both of the deals combined. And now coming on to the deals, first we'll start off with the sale of the BLM, Barca licensing and merchandising. That was like Barcelona have few offers on the table, and they want around 200 to 300 millions, and shifting towards 300 millions. But what the companies are offering, it's around 200. So discussions are going on. The club socios have already approved the sale, and it is expected to go on or go through before at least around the end of July at most. And then coming on to the sale of the television rights, Barcelona earn around 200 millions, which has reduced, of course, a bit due to COVID from the La Liga television rights. And basically, what we are going to do is take a cash injection from a company, be it Bank of America or CVC or someone. CVC is basically ruled out now. So we have Bank of America on the table, maybe even Goldman Sachs, who are sponsoring the Espai Barca project. And it's basically going to be what Barcelona want is 200 millions for every 10%. And for 25%, it will go to 500 millions. And they'll give up a part of the television rights, which they get from La Liga. And that's how the loan would be repaid over a period of a maximum of 25 years. And it was a bold decision because basically Barcelona wanted to get over the restrictions which are put on by La Liga, especially the 3:1 rule, which makes it pretty hard to sign players.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And a little more, some things I want to talk to you about. Number one, Joan Laporta said we are selling something, selling all these things. And with our finances in mind, he said our financial masterminds have been working at it and have devised a plan to make 1,200 million euros in 6 years or something. What's that all about?
So that includes the Spotify sponsorship deal as well. We are earning like 70 millions for the sponsorship of the shirt. Then when the Spy Barca project is completed by 2026, it will be a money spinner, of course, like Real Madrid are doing now with after the renovation of the Santiago Bernabeu completed. They're earning like hundreds of millions after that. And even now Spotify are giving Barcelona like 5 or 7 millions for uh, getting a title sponsor for the stadium. Like the stadium will be called Spotify Camp now from next season onwards. But once the S5 Barca project is completed, it will be something around 25 millions per season, I guess.
Yeah, and
And that
Pulkit,
combined with the sale of BLM and the TV sites, it will go much above the 1 billion mark.
yeah, exactly. So great stuff. And Pulkit, if you could give us some exact figures about the new deals that went down.
Yeah, so I'll give you the figures. Spotify deal will earn 250 million plus. 49.9% of BLM will be 200, between 200 to 300 million. Will still maintain the ownership because we're selling only 49.9%. 25% of TV rights for around 500 million. 160 million in salary reductions, which was massive in a span of 18 months, I guess. And 95 million in player sales and loans, and renewed Fati, Araujo, and Pedri, and about to renew Gavi. There is optimism in all of that as well. So all in the space of 15 months, 15 to 18 months after inheriting a club with 1.7 million euros of debt. It's massive. Laporta, Juan Laporta, masterclass. I mean, wonderful. What
A
do you have to say
hundred
about it, Srijan?
percent. A hundred
Yeah,
percent.
Srijan.
Also, yes, Srijan,
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you before we go on.
yeah,
There are still player sales to be made. The transfer window
exactly.
is coming. We're still selling Frenkie de Jong, most probably for a big amount. Dembele is going for free, sadly, but we are optimistic with more loans and more sales. We'll probably include a player in a swap deal for Jules Kounde. More
Yeah.
on that later, obviously. But Srijan, what are your opinions on what happened last night? Do you support Laporta or what?
Obviously, I mean, why wouldn't I support Laporta considering the situation we're in right now? Uh, First of all, there is no way anyone can blame him for what he's doing. I saw some people are blaming him, but he definitely did not inherit this situation. It was all Barton is doing, and what he has achieved in this very short amount of period of time is very, very astonishing. I must say that it was very planned out very well. The plans he has for the future to stabilize the financial situation of the club is very, very, and I must say, it's very amusing. I mean, he has done a tremendous job.
Definitely. And also, Sagni, just to add to reducing the wage bill, there were news on Twitter. Maybe Rishabh can enlighten us about it more. That if players are not willing to leave, there will be contract terminations as well,
Yep.
because our wage bill is immense right now. So that will also happen, which is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. The salary which some players are earning for basically doing nothing is immense. You look at players like
Yeah,
Braithwaite, Miralem Pjanic, the Neto. It's
Yeah,
Neto.
insane.
and
It's literally insane that they literally do nothing and get on with millions. And why would they want to leave? They're on massive
Exactly.
wages.
Exactly.
100%. And on another note, I would think it would be a good gesture for us to reciprocate the good gesture made by Florentino Perez for Barcelona to re enunciate what he said a few days ago for our audience, because sometimes we forget the difference between enmity and rivalry. So, Rishabh, if you would brief us about what exactly Perez said and what it means for the club and La Liga.
Basically, what Perez wants to do is he wants support from Barcelona and Juventus or clubs like these who are basically owned by the fans. And they want to go against the clubs which are owned by the billionaires, the state owned clubs, basically Manchester City, Paris Saint Germain,
Newcastle.
Chelsea, Newcastle United, even FSG, they own Liverpool, Arsenal owned by Kroenke. because you look at the clubs like Barca or Real Madrid, they have to depend on the earnings which they do from their player sales or the merchandising, the
Yeah,
commercialization, and stuff like that.
the
But
sponsors and
clubs
all of
like
that.
PSG and all, what they do is they have a sheikh or a billionaire sitting on the top of their heads, a big businessman, and they basically what they all do is pump money into the club. Like you look at PSG, because I don't blame
Yeah,
Manchester City and Chelsea clubs like those much, because you look at cities which will it is quite sustainable. Same goes for Chelsea, but you look at PSG, it's insane what PSG do. They
it's
Yeah,
literally
not
but
have a
PSG,
base bill.
Rishabh. It's Mbappe FC now. You see, they have made that player bigger than the club. That is what Perez was basically highlighting. He didn't say that directly, but he did say that because no
See,
one is
the
bigger than the club.
no player is
PSG's
bigger than
wage
the
bill
club.
is literally around 700 millions, and I don't know how to get on with it. What is UEFA doing? FIFA doing?
Exactly,
And you
it's
look at
very
La Liga. You
irresponsible.
look
Nasir
at La
Al
Liga,
Khelaifi is a
Bas.
member. Like
You
Nasir
look
Al
at La
Khelaifi
Liga
is being a
once.
member, right?
Sorry.
Nasir Al
Yeah,
Khelaifi is a member.
after this Super League saga, when this Andrea Agnelli, who was the president of Juventus, he was sacked, or
Yeah,
he resigned from his position. I don't remember that well, but he basically left UEFA, and after that, the place of the chairman was given to Nasser Al Khalifi, who is the owner or the president or chairman,
yeah.
whatever you want to say, of PSG. And
Yeah,
that's
He's happy to
basically
speak anything
why
and anything, man.
UEFA never go behind them. And you look at La Liga clubs, I guess
exactly.
around 70 or 80% La Liga clubs are over the wage cap, and what they have to go through is basically the 3:1 rule, which makes it very very difficult to sign players. I guess
But
And
only
there
let
is
Real
this
Madrid
person
is the
called
only big
Javier
club in La Liga
Tebas.
who is
Yeah,
sustainable at the moment.
yeah,
You look at Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla, everyone is struggling. Villarreal are at a good place because basically they made it to the semi-finals of the Champions League last season, and that's why they got a big injection of cash, and they're rebuilding the stadium also, I guess.
also
then
let
there is Javier Tebas, Sagnik, whose comments
exactly.
are just
I
so
don't know what
baffling.
to say of Tebas.
Yeah,
That
man.
guy literally complains
He's a
about PSG
weirdo.
and
That
Manchester City, and
that's
at the same
a
time,
discussion
he
for a
puts on
different time.
restrictions on La Liga clubs and he expects big players to come to the league. That's never happening, man.
I
Exactly.
think
Yeah, what do you have to say, Srizon, to all of this? Srizon, your turn.
I mean, if we start talking about Tebas, we would probably have to make a whole episode about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
for
you're right.
sure. And
Yeah,
man,
of course.
let that sink in to the fans of the other leagues. In spite of all this, guess who won the UCL? Guess who won the UCL? And guess who went to the semifinals of the UCL? Villarreal slapped the biggest clubs in the competition. In the end, of course, they got eliminated. That's a different thing. But they made an impact. And in the end, guess who won the UCL? A Spanish club. You know, Spanish football will always be bigger, no matter how big your wage bill is, like
Yeah, yeah,
PSG, no matter how many big transfers you make, like Manchester City.
yeah,
Football is more than that. At the end of the day, even when it seems like money is winning versus football, football always wins. Because in the locker room, it matters. Football is never a one man game. As Cruyff said,
yeah.
you can get the best player
You're
for
right.
every position. You'll get 11 strong ones, but not a strong 11. Speaking of strong 11s, let us move to our next topic. The second most anticipated transfer of the upcoming window. Well, Lewandowski is pretty much done. Now we are going to talk about the one and only Bernardo Silva, the guy whose news has been flooding our Twitter page since the last 24 hours and will be flooding our page for the next many days until the transfer window finally closes. So, all positive news is what we are seeing right now. And Rishabh, Pulkit, Srijan, you three will take us step by step as to what we have heard, when we have heard it, and what we will expect. Starting, of course, with the admin who posted them himself, Rishabh. Let's go. Bernardo
I
Silva,
guess
when is he
in
coming?
the last in the last podcast, I already said that we are selling Frenkie de Jong for sporting reasons and not economic, and that comes out to be true.
Exactly, and the details will be discussed a little bit later about Frenkie
So,
de Jong.
yeah, I guess what Barcelona are trying to do at the moment is they want a midfield duo of Pedri and Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, an
And
interior,
Bernard,
right?
yeah, because Frenkie de Jong, as well as he is good in carrying the ball, but the final ball definitely lacks in Frenkie de Jong's play. And with
Yeah,
Bernardo
but
Silva, he's
Rishabh,
definitely one of the best creators.
Yeah, but Rishabh, your counterpart in transfer news, who's Fabrizio Romano, just said that Frenkie De Jong's salary, which will be massive in
Yeah,
the coming
yeah.
season, is
I'll come
also a
on to that as
concern for
well.
Yeah,
Barcelona. Yeah,
Frankie's topic will
Yeah.
be covered later on. Right now, let's talk about Bernardo Silva. Very soon, we're going to cover Frankie. Don't get me wrong,
Okay.
but yeah, let's talk about him. What have we heard, Rishabh? What more?
First of all, I want to say that in 2015, when Joan Laporta was contesting for the
yeah,
elections, he obviously lost that. But Bernardo Silva was on his list at that time as well in 2015. And his agent, as we know, is Jorge Mendes, who is a very good friend of Laporta. Then meetings were held at that time too, and Bernardo was at Monaco at that time. He was a young upcoming winger, only 21 or 22 years old at that time. Only 20 years old. He's 27 now, so 7 years ago he was just 20 years old. He was an upcoming talent. There were meetings held along with Paul Pogba. Bernardo Silva's name was definitely on the table, and if Laporta had won that elections in 2015, who knows if Bernardo Silva was already a Barcelona player by 2015 only.
I'm so
And
happy
then
we
what?
did not sign Pogba. I'm so happy. But yeah,
I'll
go.
explain the whole story of Bernardo Silva first. Then you can, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
then what happened? The transfer ban came in 2015, and then Bartomeu, the transfers who we made in midfield were in 2015. We signed Arda Turan. In 2016, we signed Andre Gomez. In 2017, we signed Paulinho. In 2018, we signed Arturo Vidal. And 2019, I don't think we made any signings in the midfield.
Pjanic.
Yeah, Pedri was signed in 2019 only, but he came
2020,
in
I think
20.
Pjanic came
Yeah,
in.
he came in, yeah, Spanish in 2020. Pedri was
Okay.
signed in 2019 only, but he arrived in 2020. And then
Yeah.
what happened? Bernardo Silva went on to join Manchester City in 2017, no? Yeah,
Yeah,
17
you're
only.
right.
After that Monaco, wonderful season Monaco had in
Yeah,
winning the
I think
league.
Benjamin Mendy and Bernardo Silva, they
Yeah,
came in together.
that was a great Monaco side. They reached the semi-finals of the Champions League and also won the league.
Yeah,
Many
Mbappe
players
was
were there.
also
No?
there, right?
Mbappe was also there. Then Bernardo
Yeah.
Silva. That
Yeah.
Bakayoko guy was also there. He went to Chelsea, but flopped at Chelsea sadly.
Benjamin Mendy was also in his prime in that.
Benjamin Mendy was also
Yeah.
there. Falcao was also there. He had a great
Yeah.
season. And then what happened? Bernardo Silva basically he wanted to leave England last season only in 2021.
Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, Barcelona were also linked, but as we know, we had next to nothing funds to spend last season in the last summer transfer window. And then Pep Guardiola and Bernardo Silva, they, as per Mundo Deportivo's Ferran Martinez, they reached a pact that Bernardo would continue at City for another season. But in 2022, that is this summer transfer window, if a good offer came for Bernardo, then Manchester City would allow him to leave. And Bernardo Silva's stance has not changed. He's still open to leaving Manchester City, and that is basically due to personal reasons. He wants to be near his family. Like we know, he's a Portuguese guy, and he is suffering from problems, I guess, from the weather in Manchester, the culture in England, and stuff like that. And then we have the culture in Portugal and Spain is basically almost the same. The language is also same, Portuguese and Spain. That is basically
Yeah, very similar.
quite similar, yeah.
Yeah,
And Catalan is a mixture of Portuguese and Spanish and French.
yeah.
And apparently Bernardo Silva knows of Xavi's interest in him, that Barcelona want him as a replacement for Frenkie de Jong. And now let's see what happens, because I don't think Manchester City would accept something less than 80 or 85 millions, which is quite similar to what we want for Frenkie. And that's what Barcelona's plan is, I guess. Sell Frenkie de Jong for X amount and sign Bernardo Silva for
Redeposit
something
it.
similar
Yeah.
to X. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's gonna be a little more complicated because the
We'll
funds
see
that
how
are
it
going
develops,
to
because also the salary issue is also one thing, because as Bartomeu was the one who gave out the contracts to Frenkie de Jong as well till 2022, he had one salary, but from the next season onwards his salary is expected to rise a lot. And Bernardo
Yeah.
Silva's salary, if we believe the reports which are available on different websites, then Bernardo Silva's salary is less than half of that of Frenkie de Jong's.
exactly, which is hilarious. It is
Also,
tremendous.
Agnik, I was thinking that a swap deal between De Jong and Bernardo Silva might be worked out, but since City are after Calvin Phillips, that will not happen anymore
Yeah,
because that's
and
their
I think
replacement
the
for
last
Frenkie.
thing, the last thing they need is another midfielder. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest, they have
I think
Gundogan,
Gundogan
they
is
have
also
yeah.
leaving because he's not renew. Then Bernardo Silva and Fernandinho are also leaving. So like that's three
Oh, Gundo is leaving
veteran
as well.
midfielders.
Yeah,
So that
Gundo might leave here. Also, Gundogan is like 31 or 32 years old now.
yeah. That is why
Uh,
they're going for Calvin Phillips. No, that's the reason. So I don't think they'll go for Frankie De Jong because that'll make like two very similar players
Yeah,
in Calvin
plus we
Phillips.
have a party who are genuinely interested in Frenkie, and given the relationship we have with him, we definitely want to ensure he goes somewhere where he will actually play properly. He will get an important role in a big club. So yeah, in City he'll have a lot of competition, etc. In United,
Yeah,
I think he will be more of
or regular
a
starter.
dependable starter. Yeah. And as of right now, if I tell you guys the news, if we manage to sell Frankie de Jong for a good price, 80 million at least, then Bernardo Silva is definitely coming. Bernardo Silva wants to come to Barcelona more than he wants to go to other clubs. As Rishabh already said, it's more of a personal issue for him. So finances, money doesn't really affect him. He specifically wants to come to Barcelona. So we can just keep our fingers crossed for this Bernardo Silva situation. And I think we have pretty much covered the Silva thing. I guess we can expect him. Now we must talk about the thing that will ensure that Bernardo Silva joins us, which is the departure of Frenkie de Jong. And we will also discuss about Frenkie de Jong as a player in general. Well, number one thing about Frenkie de Jong is his playing style is one of the most complicated among all
Yeah,
midfielders in the world. It is very hard to
yeah.
describe. He has been very versatile. His playing profile has been very different under many coaches. Like under Ten Hag, actually, when he used to play in Ajax, I've heard that he was instructed specifically not to make forward runs and to play as a deep lying orchestrator who basically organized the field in front of him. Under Ronald Koeman, he was a box to box player, often slotted in a double pivot, and even as a centre back. And under Xavi, he has a pretty similar profile as to what he had under Koeman, but with less of the defensive duty, if I may say, and
More of forward run.
more instructions, yeah, to make incisive
Yeah.
runs into the box. Due to which he has scored a tremendous header. It was a great goal. It was at a great angle. So Frenkie De Jong is very versatile. He is basically, if I don't sound too harsh by this, he's a jack of all trades, but not the master of the one Barcelona needs right now. I think Bernardo Silva will be a much better fit for the Barcelona style of play for Xavi. Maybe
Hmm.
he wants him, as Rishabh had said in the previous episode. He Bernardo Silva is a left-footed Pedri. So
Yeah, he had like a more experience and evolved version of Pedri, right?
yeah,
When Pedri.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely, Bernardo Silva is at his prime now. He's 27
Yeah,
years old, and Pedri is what,
yeah,
19
yeah.
years old at around.
And good learning for Pedri also under Bernardo Silva, so that'll be wonderful. So yeah, great addition. What are your thoughts, Srijan, on De Jong leaving? Do you think it's a financial decision? Or is it a tactical or maybe sporting one? I should say.
Uh, as of now, the thing is that the way this whole situation is progressing, I think now it's more than just a financial decision. It should be more of a sporting decision because, as we know, as Sagmeet has already explained that uh, De Jong's play style is very much complicated than the rest of the midfielders around. And in order to maximize his output, we have to use a specific tactical setup that can actually help him to bring out the best. And we saw that in Ajax, he was very good. Did really excel at his role, but at Barca, we don't really play in that specific system that made him actually the midfielder that actually brought us into our radar, right? So we thought that he would eventually replace Busquets or something close,
Yeah,
but I think the problem here is that Frenkie is very much a press-resistant player, and his ability to control the ball and move out of tight spaces is very good. But the most important thing here is that his passing ability or the passing range. The originally he was brought to replace Busquets or something so, right? We know that how large of a passing range Busquets has, despite being a defensive midfielder, and he even establishing himself as a generational midfielder because of just of that, right? Frankie's main problem was that is that he uh, has everything he needs to be cover the role of a deep line playmaker, but in order to play a single pivot, he has to have a good passing range, and that is not
Yeah.
simply not true with
Yeah, I think
Dion.
also I think asking him to replace Busquets, who was irreplaceable. We've discussed this before. Also, I think it's too harsh a reason for him to matlab, to sell him. So I think
Exactly.
that would be a little harsh comparing him to a replacement for Sergio Busquets, who is basically not replaceable.
So
So
basically,
See.
what I think is that what I think is that whether the reason behind buying Bernardo Silva is that we know that Casey has already been bought by Barca,
yeah,
so
that's
he
definitely
will. He is definitely if he plays in Busquets' place next season, he will definitely have the role of covering the defensive duties as well as covering. He is very pressure resistant as well, right? So
Mhm.
he will be given the job to move the ball out of the tight spaces and probably be that holding midfielder and to cover up that uh, forward progression of boosters that he provided. But that's why aside Pedri, Bernardo Silva is being bought so that the creativity is overall balanced.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Kessie is more for physicality and for depth also. I think in our squad. So
Yeah,
let's
and
move on to
most
the next one.
importantly, KCA is a done deal. Also,
Yeah.
various top tier sources have confirmed that the selling of Frenkie is not a financial decision at all. It is mostly a sporting related decision. So we're
Yeah.
definitely right on that. So
Mm.
I guess we have
Yeah,
covered.
I guess the main problem with Frenkie de Jong throughout his career at Barcelona in the 3 seasons has been consistency.
Yeah,
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 his
you're right.
value has gone
Right,
down,
right.
firstly.
And the
585
market
million
value
price
which he
is not
had has
justifiable.
plummeted as well. It was 90 millions at one point, and now it has dropped down to 60
Yeah,
millions.
yeah. That is why that 85 million, that or 86 million, whatever we paid,
Yeah, and we should
it's
not
not
forget that
justified.
we literally spent 86 millions for Frenkie, and
Yeah.
we do want to
Yeah.
recover
That's
as
why
much
it's
as
not
possible for
justified.
that.
You're very right. You're spot on with the consistency point. You're very right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on to another player who we are looking to add in our squad. But however, things aren't looking that bright for us in this regard. It's Jules Kounde. Well, Kounde himself is leaning towards Chelsea from what I've read recently. Apparently, Chelsea have had an agreement with him, but Sevilla aren't convinced, so probably we still have a chance. Rishabh, what's your understanding of the situation?
English media says that Kounde wants to play for Chelsea, and the Catalan media they say that Kounde prefers
Yeah.
to play for Barcelona.
The same old
And
narrative.
we'll
The
see
same
what
old.
happens with this. But Xavi's dream is to sign Kounde, and this we
Yeah.
have known even before Xavi signed for the club. Because even when Ronald Koeman had just been sacked, and there were rumors that Xavi would be the next coach of Barca, at that time only it was said that Jules Kounde is a dream signing for Xavi, and we are still sticking to that point. And now we have that out of nothing because everyone believed that Kounde would be on his way to Chelsea after they were linked with him last summer and in January too.
Yeah.
But out of nothing, now Barcelona have hopped onto the scene. And basically,
Yeah.
what we are offering is something around. We haven't offered yet, but the media is linking us with Kounde is that we'll offer Sevilla around 55-60 millions. And along with that, a player of their choice, be it Serginho Dest, Francisco Trincao, or maybe Clement Longley.
Longley, man.
We'll see.
Longley. It will
We'll
be
see. We'll see
Longley.
that. And
Speaking of
it is
Longley, speaking
also
of Longley,
there were some minor rumors that the only player Sevilla would accept is Dest, as they see him as a long-term replacement for Jesus Navas, who has been a legend for
I
their
think that'll
club.
be too much, Rishabh. I think 60 or 55 or 60 plus Dest was probably worth 20,
Yeah,
25.
Dest is probably worth
Yeah, so
25
that will
millions,
make
and that would
Kounde like
make the
80,
deal
85
around
million player.
80-85 millions.
That is not
yeah, and
what Kounde is
sorry to
worth.
interrupt you guys. Speaking of Longley, today is his birthday, which means Rishabh shares his birthday with
Ah,
Longley.
who would have thought? And by the way, we have signed the Danish Longley also, Sagnik, as
Yeah,
coined by Rishabh himself, the man of the hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. The more I see of Christensen, I think he's a better player than Longley.
Yeah, and how
Because he's
the
the
I,
Danish
I,
Longley, right? He's not the French
I
Longley.
watched Christensen playing against Austria and Croatia in the Nations
yeah, he
League
was
recently,
very
and
good.
he played
Yeah, he
pretty
was
well.
very
Yeah.
good.
Did
Yeah,
you see his debacle against Arsenal though? The 4-2
So that
loss.
happens. Every defender makes mistakes. Even players like
Yeah,
Van Dijk and Pique in his prime, even Sergio Ramos, everyone made
yeah.
mistakes.
You know, we had Griezmann playing as a centre back also time to time for us. You remember that?
I don't wanna recall those frightful memories.
Moment.
I don't
Yeah,
even want to speak about Griezmann now. He's gone. Let it be.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Kounde.
Funny.
About Kounde. So, Rishabh, which side are you believing in, the Catalan side or the English side? Which one?
I, I think as of now, Chelsea are the front runners to sign him. But as we know, whenever a deal is still not completed, it's not done, and anything can happen in the transfer market.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows if Barcelona can make a good enough offer to convince Chelsea as well as Kounde, he could be on his way to the club.
I think
But as
also
of now, I
depends on the
personally
sporting
think
project
Chelsea are the
also.
front runners as of now.
But I think it depends on the sporting project also. I think Kounde would it will be easier for him to adapt to Barcelona in terms
Yeah,
of
because he has
doing
been
La
playing in
Liga.
La Liga for
Yeah,
three or
yeah,
2 or 3 seasons now.
yeah. I
But also
think that
Chelsea need to sign 2 or 3 center defenders. No, they
of course
lost
their
Christensen,
entire
they
backline has
lost
gone.
Rudiger. They might
Yeah, yeah.
lose Aspilicueta as well,
Alonso and Aspi.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Aspilicueta, hopefully to us. I
and
mean,
even
But
Thiago Silva is like 37 years old.
yeah,
yeah.
never say never because we have still Barcelona and Chelsea is Chelsea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we get into a deal, the player has to think twice about making a move. Yes,
Also,
and they
like
need.
remember Rishabh when we were sorry to cut you, Srijan. Remember Rishabh when we were in January, like Sterling is coming to Barca, Sterling wants Barca, and then Matthew Alemany plays
Out
in
of nothing.
masterclass.
Yeah.
Ferran Torres to Barcelona. Like anything can happen, right?
But now
So
I
yeah.
guess that the transfer targets are pretty clear. It's Bernardo
But
Silva, it's
are you
Lewandowski, and it's
sure
Luis.
Pulkit it was an upgrade?
Sorry.
Ferran Torres over Ferran Torres over Sterling. Are you sure it was an upgrade?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
I
Ferran is
get your
almost
point. I get where
21
you're
or
coming
22
from.
years old right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
he's
think
highly rated
he'll
by
be all right.
Xavi as well as Luis Enrique.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right.
He just
I
needs to
do get
improve
your concern.
finishing.
Yeah, yeah, I do get your concern about him finishing and him missing chances and him being unlucky in front of goal. I do get that. But you know what? When he had a year left in his contract with Valencia 2 seasons ago, right, Sarushav? And City got him for around 35 million or something like that. Even Dortmund were after him. And I wanted, at that time for him to sign for Barca. It didn't happen though. But it happened now. So I'm very happy with it. So yeah. What's your take on this Kounde situation, Srizon?
Yeah, definitely he's a player anyone would want for his club, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that we're actually trying for him in such a delicate situation of the club, it means that we're actually desperate for him, right? Desperate for a player like him for the defense because we already know that Pique is declining and most of our other centre backs aside Araujo are pretty much useless.
Yeah.
So for considering that fact, I would definitely take a player like Kounde and movement. But the fact is that uh, the confusion that is regarding which side he's more leaning towards on, right? Whether it is Chelsea or
Yeah. Yeah.
Spain and Barcelona.
Hmm.
My personal take on this situation is that he has both the offers on the table right now, and Spanish media is saying that Barca are ahead because they want him to stay ahead in the Spanish league, and the English media is saying that he will go to Chelsea because they obviously want more players like him in the English Premier League, and obviously they will try to uh, put an advantage or put more pressure on the player from the media so that he accepts their offer. So this is a situation that is very interesting. So it will be interesting to see how it turns out. But I think that he will not choose his club very soon because now that he knows that a club like of Barca's level has come into the mix, he will at least consider the offer and before making a move.
I
And
would love to see Kounde trying to stop Darwin Núñez and Erling Haaland in the Premier League. So yeah, let's
yeah,
see.
and also, do you guys think even if we fail to sign Kounde, will we be able to sign at least Koulibaly, one of them at least, in this transfer
I
window?
think yeah, definitely one of them for sure.
Yeah,
Just one.
Rishabh, what about you?
Yeah,
You think so too?
Yeah,
it
I guess Koulibaly is the backup option for Kounde.
Yeah. Because he's 1 year
And
left. No, it's 45 million in
yeah,
cost.
less than that, I guess, 35 to 40 at most.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Srijan.
Kounde has a 90 millions release clause, and Sevilla want that to be paid.
yeah.
And Chelsea are ready to pay that, and Barcelona are offering 60 million to
LOL,
be paid.
Rishabh, 90 million for Kounde. LOL, man.
So that's
Yeah.
what Manchester United paid for Harry Maguire, 85 millions.
I
Well, that's Man United.
let me cut in here. Chelsea are the club who paid 115 million for just a
Yeah.
1 year loan for Lukaku.
1 year
So
loan for
that's very
Lukaku,
much.
yeah.
Transfer market has gone so funny, guys. Pogba was on loan also, right? So Season you mentioned. Pogba
Yeah.
was on loan to Man United.
Yeah, the
5 years.
only difference is that was a 5 year loan.
Yeah. Now he's back with Juventus. Anyway, let's move on, Sagnik.
Yep.
Yeah,
To
so
our.
I was talking
Yeah, go on,
about
Srijan.
Koulibaly. Yeah, I was
You
talking
were.
about Koulibaly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
if he wants to move to a big club, this is his last chance, I think. Because if he extends his contract with Napoli after this season, it will actually I mean the by the time the next contract ends, I don't think he will be much of a uh, prospect for any of the big clubs. So if he wants to move to a big club, it
Yeah,
will
it's
have
his
to be on
last
this.
big contract, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes. So if he wants to play in UCL and in a big club, he has to move this one. So
Similar
he's
to
an
the next
interesting option.
Lewandowski that we're going to. That
Yeah.
similar situation Koulibaly is in Israel. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
So
on, Sagnik.
yeah, we are gonna move on to our next and final topic, further advancements. Now this has a lot of gray area, but I'm gonna explain to you guys what this means. Well, it's basically what we have in mind and what we have worked on till now. Well, as of reports today, Barcelona are planning to keep a transfer market budget of 200 million euros this time. So it's a big number, especially since the last two transfer windows where we were looking for freebies, we were acting like we're scavengers to get the players who nobody wants and somehow turning them into goal scoring machines, someone like Aubameyang. So, guys, 200 million is great. And another thing is that Xavi is probably thinking of using three central defensive midfielders. Sorry, three central defenders. My apologies. My brain isn't working properly. So it's got mixed feelings. We will talk about both. About the 200 million thing, I don't think there is nothing much to talk about. So about the three center back situation, plus minus, what do you guys think? Advantages, disadvantages, go. Pulkit, let's start with you. Pulkit, I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, let's go.
Pep Guardiola mentioned in one of his interviews in the media that formations are, just on paper. In the game, formations, where the players are playing, positions, everything changes. I hope Kai was here. Positional play, right? Anyway, um, so I think formations, of course, there is a structure that your team follows. There is zonal markings. There are defensive lines, offside traps, and all of these things that a team follows regularly. But I think within the game, sometimes you have to play with the back three. You saw with Koeman as well, right? A lot of times. Sometimes have to play with the back four, depending on how the other team is playing, how the score line is, how the match is going. For me, even with Al-Sadd, Rishabh, you might know about this as well, that Xavi has used 3-4-3 from time to time. And he, of course, sticks with the 4-3-3 as well. So I think that's why he wants depth in the central defense. That's why he wants three centre backs like Kounde, Araujo, Christensen. Of course, Pique and Eric Garcia are all already there. So within the game, I think
And Azpilicueta, who might arrive, can play as a right centre back.
yeah, RCB for Azpilicueta as well. So a lot of things can go on there. So that's why I think, but I personally, being a natural Cruyffian football fan of the modern day Cruyffian football fan, I would want a 4-3-3. But I think within the game things change. So yeah, you have to play accordingly. And that's why I think SC has also been signed if you want to play with four midfielders. That's why you need depth. And Pablo Torre, of course, is coming in as well. I'm, I think, the most excited of the, at least the Barca bus team about Pablo Torre, and maybe Arsene is like closest second. So, what's your take on this 3-4-3 situation, Rishabh?
See, we have seen 3-4-3 in Chelsea system as well.
Yeah.
Maybe even Inter and even Tottenham Hotspur, they are playing with 3-4-3 under Antonio
That's
Conte.
that's
But Xavi
3-5-2, man.
3-4,
That's Conte.
yeah, something similar only. But they use two wing backs, three midfielders or two midfielders and two forwards. But Xavi's system was something like he used three centre backs, no wing backs, two holding midfielders, two attacking midfielders,
Yeah,
two
three two
wingers,
two
and
three.
one centre forward. Yeah,
Yeah, three
something
two
like
two
a
three kind of
3-2-2-3.
thing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
with Messi and Busquets, I guess he'll be using the two
Two
holding
defensive.
midfielders with Nico
Yeah.
being another backup option. And obviously Pedri and Bernardo Silva, the two advanced midfielders, with Pablo Torre and Gavi being the backup options.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
then
You're
we
right.
have
Very
the
right.
wingers. Wingers obviously Ansu Fati. Hopefully he has a very good season next
Varane.
season. Being fit, plays at least 50 games, around 40 games at least. Not 50, at least 40 games next season.
No, it's
We want
World
a
Cup
Ansu
also,
Fati.
man. It won't be 50. It's World Cup as well.
And then Ferran Torres is obviously there. We'll be signing a winger, be it Rafinha. His full name I didn't know. It came across yesterday only. It's Rafael Diaz Beloli. And
Sounds worse.
then
Could have sound
either
worse.
Rafinha will come or Di Maria. Either of them will definitely arrive. And then we'll obviously have up there as well as a backup option, maybe as a left winger. And as the centre
Yeah, yeah.
forward, obviously two top class options in Lewandowski and Aubameyang, excellent backup option to him.
And Memphis also left wing, no?
Memphis will definitely leave if Lewandowski arrives. I have no doubts about it.
Memphis
And
left wing, I think.
and go where? To Mohan Bagan?
But again, the only doubt I have is whether what happens to Jordi Alba if we shift to the 3-2-2-3.
Well, Alonso is there, no? Potentially.
Bench.
I think
Alonso can't
Balde can
bench
bench
Alba.
Alonso, guys. I'm going for Alejandro Balde benching Alonso. Like
That's the
I'll be
only
so
doubt I have with what happens to Jordi Alba if he actually shift to a 3-2-2-3, because Jordi Alba won't have any role to play in that.
I
Exactly.
think he'll be exposed a lot, no, at the back. That's the problem because he's not fast enough now anymore because of his age. What's your take on this, Srijan? The 3-4-3?
Probably. Wait. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Maybe
Yeah.
if we cannot sign either Di Maria or Rafinha, maybe, just maybe, Alba goes up and plays into the wings. Maybe as a backup option.
Could be.
Yeah.
Can be a very good left winger. He was a left winger in his
Yeah.
early days at Valencia and in the
Yeah.
youth teams too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the cross
Even Bernardo
specialist.
Silva can play as a right winger, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
No, you guys are forgetting another player. Alex Suarez coming back from Granada. He could play.
Oh, I don't see him
right
staying
winger.
at Barca next season. I
Yeah,
don't see
even
him.
Yeah,
players
he
who
could
go
be
out on
sold.
loan,
It's such a sad,
hey, man.
such a sad.
We'll have sales.
Yeah,
Like we have already earned 26 millions till now for the summer. Like 20 millions from Coutinho's, 5 or 6 millions from
Continue,
Fernando
man.
Glass.
20 million, 20 million. It's so funny. Oh,
Also,
man.
there will be more sales. Like Memphis Depay may be sold for something around 25-30 million.
Longley.
Come on, Mohan Bagan can't afford that much.
We literally spent the most money last season, bro.
Yeah, but 25 million euros, I don't think so.
Dude, Longley is the most expensive CB we've ever gotten. You should
Also,
know that.
after Arsenal getting linked to Lisandro Martinez, I don't think they'll go for Longley now.
Yeah, man.
What
I
are
Yeah,
hate
and
you
I
guys
hate it, by
talking
the way.
about?
I
What are
hate
you guys
want
talking
Lisandro.
about, man? Longley himself is better than all the CBs we have. And even anyone will buy in the future.
Yeah, nice one.
Anyone.
Then we'll have other sales too. Don't need to worry about that.
Yeah,
Like
but I
Oscar
hate
Mingueza will
Lisandro
leave.
Martinez going to some other club than Barcelona. I really wanted him.
Yeah, man.
Lisandro
Definitely.
Martinez.
If you're getting an
Lisandro.
option of either to sign Kounde or Lisandro Martinez, then definitely I'll go for Kounde. No doubt about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I am a little bit biased over Argentinians. You can
yeah.
understand why. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty much
so
it.
I have bias because of he being under Eric Ten Hag, Lisandro Martinez. He's like a
Yeah,
tailor-made
sure.
Barca
Yeah.
center.
Yeah, and
If
speaking
you
of
want to sign
which,
an Argentinian centre back, you can go for Marcos Senesi. He's literally better than Lisandro Martinez, in my opinion.
yeah,
What's
but
his release clause?
also guys, speaking of
He's there at Feyenoord now, and he might go to Sevilla as a replacement for Kounde and Diego
Oh yeah, I
Carlos.
read that today.
yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of center backs under Ten Hag, what's the deal with Delict? Will he continue at Juventus for how many more years? Like,
He
is he
should. He
looking for
should.
an exit?
He,
He has been nowhere near the same player he was expected to become.
I think he'll sign
Exactly.
exactly.
renewal, no? Like
And that's
2025,
actually
He,
with all the Ajax players, no? With all Ajax players, it's the same story. You look at Frenkie De Jong, you look at Hakim
Yeah.
Ziyech, you look
Th-
at David Neres, you look at even Andre Onana. He badly got caught
That
in that.
2018-19
Yeah,
team. Yeah, that whole
Yeah,
team. Yeah.
and that's where I would suggest him to go to Manchester United. Manchester should drop Harry Maguire and get Mathis de Ligt. There's de
exactly.
Ligt, Varane. There's also gonna be someone else probably. Well, at least he's gonna get game time, unlike in Juventus. Also, speaking of which, I know this is a little bit off topic, but what
I guess
about?
the game time thing won't be a problem for Delict at Juventus now because Chiellini has left for
Yeah, yeah.
MLS.
And
But he
Bonucci
won't
is not getting
perform that
younger either.
much. Yeah, he
And
won't
May
even
I add
perform
Bonucci
that.
is
something
old.
here?
What?
May I add something here?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the problem here is that the players you guys just mentioned from Ajax, these guys played under a specific system for such a long time
Yeah.
that once they got out of it, they just couldn't adapt. That's the problem here. So if they want to reboot their careers, they should go back to. I mean, they should go back under Ten Hag at United.
Yeah,
Only thing is,
100%.
if De Jong is going there, I mean, I'm feeling much scared.
They already
Uh,
have Donny Van de Beek, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
they already have Van de Beek, and De Jong is already on his way there. And only thing missing from the puzzle is the delete. And if he goes there, he'll definitely at least be a starter over Harry Maguire. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
he should definitely go there.
Yeah, and guys, I know this is a little off topic. What about Sebastian Haller, the guy who was the star player
I
of
think
this
Dortmund
UCL
also linked.
campaign?
Yeah,
Offenheim,
Aller was
Dortmund.
linked to Dortmund and Bayern Munich, no? But Bayern
Yeah.
Munich went on to sign Sadio Mane now. Dortmund might
Which
be an
means
option.
Levy is coming here.
Yeah, it was a domino effect, no? Which was expected that Darwin Nunez would go to
Nunes,
Liverpool
yeah,
and
yeah.
then Liverpool would sell Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich. Those two deals have already happened,
Yeah,
and
Man,
now
I
the only
so
thing
wanted
left is
Nunes for Barca.
Lewandowski to Barcelona.
Ramon Planes, he wanted Nunes for Barca when he was at Almeria, and then Benfica
Yeah.
came in and offered more money to Almeria.
Even Luis Suarez was pressurizing Barcelona to sign Nunez as a
Yeah,
replacement for him only. But you know, Bartomeu, he was obsessed with spending 111 millions on Lautaro Martinez, not Lisandro. So many Martinez's in
yeah,
Argentina squad is
and then we
ridiculous.
got 120 million. Well, we got Griezmann for 120. So yeah, disaster. Anyway, moving on,
But
Sagne.
moving
Griezmann
on to
was in
what?
2019, no? And Lautaro and Darwin Nunez, they were linked in 2020.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get Lautaro. I'm sad that we didn't get Nunes.
If we were looking to spend something around 60 or 70 millions for Lautaro Martinez, that would have been fine. But 111 millions,
120 is
that
too
was
much,
literally not worth it.
and I think he'll stay at Inter. He announced, no, I'm happy at
He is
Inter.
not even that much of a prolific scorer in the
Yeah.
club or in the national
He's
team.
kind of Darwin Nunez like there only, no? Kind of second striker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Lautaro also like plays off another number 9, no? Like in a two striker system.
Yeah, that's why with
Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku at Inter, he formed such a good
That's why he's going
formidable
back to his
partnership.
parents' club after his loan spell at Chelsea. So yeah.
Yeah, and as Pulkit said, let's move on. But the question arises, to move on to what? The topics for
Number
today
9.
are done.
Number
Guys,
9.
this is
Let's
the
see
end of
it.
the podcast. I can't believe it. You guys will have to
We can
join us
brief. We
again.
can brief a few topics like Gavi's renewal in 2 lines
No,
and
we'll do
something
that
like.
after it's official, man. These guys have to come back next
I
week to watch our new episode.
Just one thing,
I
something I'd like to
think it's
mention.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
close
go ahead.
now.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Pulkit, then Srijan, let's go.
just one thing I'd like to mention. Like Dani Alves leaving the club after 7 months of joining, his
Yeah,
leadership, his contribution at this age is well respected, and him and Alba on the wing, or not on the wing, sorry, as fullbacks to see again was wonderful for 7 months. Of course, because of his age and all, he can't play game in game out. He's not a 90-minute player anymore. But the fact that he joined for probably almost zero salary or very less salary at this age, at a point in our club's history, which is a very difficult position for our club to be in. And so, a lot of respect for Dani Alves. Just like to mention that. So yeah, go on, Sriran.
yeah, Srijan,
Uh,
go on.
yeah, of course. I mean, I would have liked to keep Daniel this for another 6 months until the
For the
World Cup
leadership, of
arrives.
course. For the leadership skills, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, and definitely he could have improved, helped improve just a bit more, I think, if he
definitely.
had stayed. And coming on to that, I would like to raise another topic. The recent rumors about we having to pay PK 80 million salary and the club apparently having to look to ship him off somewhere to save that. What are your thoughts about that?
About the PK situation on and off the field. Hello? Your mic got a little bit glitched out on my end, so couldn't hear the end.
Yeah, John, could you unmute yourself and then say it again?
Hello?
Yeah, Srijan.
Oh, well,
I think.
I guess
Oh,
that's
he's back.
the end of the podcast, guys. It's all God's will. Maybe He didn't want us to answer that last question for all the good
No,
things in
no.
life. Wait,
I
is he
hear
back?
that. Yes, yes, I'm back.
Yeah,
I
let's
didn't
go.
hear the answer because of internet issue.
Yeah, we didn't hear the question for internet issue.
Yeah, oh yes.
Yeah, man.
What are the thoughts about what are your thoughts about this situation about Pique? I mean, we having to pay 80 million euros about in of his remaining contract, or is the club really looking to ship him off somewhere to save that money? Or
No,
what is
I
that?
don't want PK to be shipped off. Honestly,
No,
under
no, no. He's a club
yeah,
legend. No way.
under Xavi, he has been world class. I haven't seen a single bad match for him. He has scored crucial goals, even as a defender. He has made crucial defensive moves. He
Yeah,
has
yeah, yeah.
been just
Injury has
great.
played him.
Yeah, spotless. Yeah, I whatever he does off the field is none of my business. We are human beings. And of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
what he did
Also,
was probably wrong, but I don't know the whole thing, and it
yeah.
frankly
Let's
doesn't
not go into
concern me. Yeah,
personal life. Basically, let's say
yeah.
professional. And also, a video was shown recently from Barca's official social media accounts wherein he was working in the gym. And of course, he didn't have a very good end to the season because of his groin injury and stuff like that, and of course, his personal issues now as well. And his off the field Davis Cup and other business ventures he's into. But recently, there was news also, Rishabh, you might know as well, that he promised Xavi that he'll focus on the field and he'll prove that he is one of the best centre backs, which on his day he is. Everyone knows that, and we've seen, like Sagnik, you mentioned, this season he has built us out a lot this season from time to time, time and again. So I think he'll still be there. His leadership skills are very important for Eric Garcia, Araujo to learn from, to be humble, to focus on the game, everything. He's one of the club captains, and he will remain like a legend for Barcelona. Shipping him off, shifting him out like this won't be good, won't be ethical. So yeah, what's your take on this, Rishabh? PK situation on off the field, his form. What do you see him doing in the coming season? How do you see him in the team?
Yeah, I won't get into much of his personal life of what
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
with Shakir
definitely.
and all.
Yeah.
That's definitely his personal life, and I won't talk about
Mm-hmm.
that. But the
Mm-hmm.
issues concerning the Davis Cup and the Cosmos business ventures, that was a point of concern for the club as well as the fans for a few years now. Like we heard a
Yeah,
rumor about him under was it Valverde was the coach during that time only, that he went for a Davis Cup match or something, and then he returned, and within few hours he played a match, and that doesn't happen at a top level club. And we
Definitely.
definitely have to address those issues with Pique. And with his age, he's now 35 or 36 years old.
Yeah, but
And what he
mentally,
has going,
yeah,
yeah, and what he has gone through with his personal life as well. And now Xavi has probably informed him that he won't be a starter next season, and that's probably another reason why we are going for someone like a Jules Kounde. And
yep.
yeah, but PK is definitely needed to guide those players. No, even Kounde is a
Definitely.
pretty young player. He is 23, 24 years old.
Yeah,
That'll be
you
very,
can't.
very
And
bad on our part.
you can't make a team of youngsters of only 20 or 22 years old.
It's
Yeah,
not
You
FIFA.
definitely need some you
Yeah.
definitely need some experience as well, and PK is one of those players. I
He's a
personally
veteran,
don't
man. He's
think
a
that
winner.
I personally don't think that he should be a regular starter like he was last season as well before he suffered those injuries. But as a squad player,
especially if we move on to a three
and
center back formation.
and also PK is apparently ready to reduce his salary as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
think he's
80
ready
course.
to
millions,
do.
and
Yeah,
on the 80 millions part, which is obvious the deferred salaries of the last 2 seasons, that's not PK's fault. That's Bartomeu who gave out those salaries. We can say the
yeah,
same
man.
about every player under his leadership, going from Messi to
Yeah.
Busquets to PK, everyone. Each and
Hmm.
every player was overpaid under him. And if he
Yeah.
has deferred salaries, it's the club's issue that the club has to pay it to him. But I have no
Hmm.
doubts that PK would definitely forgive a part of it.
Yeah. Also, I think on
I
on
don't think
PK's
he'll run away. He'll try to
yeah
run away with the entire
yeah
money.
from
He'll
PK's point
definitely
of view, I
forgive.
think he'll focus on the pitch now because that's what we read recently. He will just focus on his game, I think,
Yeah,
and
I think next season either PK goes back to his form of 2014, 2015, or he'll retire after
wow, man,
next season.
would love to see that. Yeah.
One last
Yeah,
dance
so it's
with
one
what
or the
Rishabh is
extreme.
saying.
We'll
Yeah.
see,
So he's
we'll
on go
see.
on.
Time will tell.
He's on go
Yeah,
on.
what Rishabh is saying is basically that he wants one last dance from PK, like
One
Michael
last
Jordan
time.
did
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, next season will most probably be the last for PK and Busquets. No, Busquets will
Okay.
most probably leave for
Speaking of
MLS
last
after.
dances, the one last dance everyone here wants and every Barca fan wants is Messi returning with Alba, Busquets, Pique there being there as well, and Levy,
And Xavi as
Pedri,
the coach.
Fati, all Xavi as the coach, and we winning the treble. That
Yes,
is the last dance
but
that we
let me
want.
stop you right there. I can
Yeah.
sense this becoming another 30 more minutes added to the video, which I will not let happen. I have to wake up
Yeah,
at
leverage.
7 a.m. tomorrow.
We'll talk about the Messi topic probably next week when he celebrates his birthday as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And guys, stay tuned for his birthday. We can't forget our idol, the greatest player who's ever worn a Barcelona shirt. We will upload a special video for Lionel Messi, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So I am gonna end it right here because you guys have to come back next week to watch more of the Barca Buzz content. Until then, Forza Barca, Vica el Barca, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Later.
And we hope that by next week when we come back, at least Lewandowski is done.
Yep, and Gavi is renewed.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva and Jules Kounde, that they'll take time, but Lewandowski, I believe, after Mane signs his deal, it can be done next week.
Yeah.
Also,
Definitely.
we forgot to add this point. No, Barcelona are expected to present another offer to Bayern Munich, and it will be a new and improved one, and that will be
Yeah,
offered
Yeah.
very soon, probably by the end of this week, maybe even by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
Yeah. I think.
yep.
Yeah.
And let's
So
see what
goodbye,
happens
I
with that.
guess. Yep. Good
Goodbye,
night,
guys.
guys.
Good night.
Goodbye, goodbye.